Print it all in.
John Gottman's a researcher at the University of Washington who periodically runs this ad in newspapers and then in his laboratory runs tests on couples who respond. He says he can predict with 90% accuracy which couples will divorce.
I'm going to put a bellows around your chest.
Over 25 years, his research team has observed thousands of couples, first hitching them up to electrodes,
You'd be amazed I do comprehend it.
then monitoring them as they talk or argue.
I want to know how your work went and stuff.
I felt like you're not sharing, so why should I?
His team watches facial expressions, heart rate, sweat rate, second by second. They categorize every moment of affection, anger, defensiveness. It's like an X-ray of the relationship. Gottman says 4 kinds of behavior are predictors of divorce. He calls them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The first one is criticism, then defensiveness. The third is contempt. The fourth, withdrawal.
You see that page?
4 years ago, for 2020, we taped this couple as they went through the program. Doug and Teresa Deitman were asked to discuss a family conflict.
I had no idea Dad was even coming to town or that we were even going to a Mariners game or anything because you didn't tell me.
Now, he has a very crucial decision to make here. How is he going to respond to her complaint? She didn't insult him. She didn't call him any names. She didn't say he was irresponsible, that he was a bad person. Let's see how he responds.
That's not true, because I told you on Tuesday that we were going to the Mariners game on Monday, but that wasn't important enough for you to remember, apparently.
No, you...
He's defensive. He defends himself, denies responsibility for whatever happened, and then he is sarcastic.
That's pretty brilliant to ask you when I'm in bed how to sleep.
He's contemptuous of her. He puts her down. Contempt is a very corrosive thing in a marriage. It ought really to be outlawed and banned in marriages.
How many of your 4 horsemen do you see in them?
I see 3. 3 out of the 4. Criticism, contempt, defensiveness.
Oh, come on!
Gottman predicted the Deitmans would divorce, but the Deitmans didn't believe it.
Will you stay married, do you think?
Yeah, we'll stay married.
You love him?
Yes, I love him very much.
2 years later, the Deitmans did divorce. Doug now says he wished Gottman, instead of just making negative predictions, had actually tried to help.
Discussion got 10 times deeper.
And now Gottman and his wife, psychologist Julie Gottman, do help. To see how, we arranged for this couple, Dan and Allison Knittel, to go through his marriage lab. Dan is an electrical engineer in the Navy, working on submarines.
106, go.
Allison's a dispatcher for a local bus system. They married 2 years ago, and they answered the ad even though they didn't think their marriage was in trouble. The Knittles struck us as a very close couple. They're all over each other much of the time. Of course, they have conflicts. In the lab, Dan suggests they save money by selling their house and moving into a trailer.
And then wherever our jobs take us, at least we got our home. We can go there. Even if we have to sit in a trailer park for, months until we can find some place to live.
My biggest fear is that once we get into that lifestyle, we won't get out of it.
On the surface here, there doesn't seem to be much wrong. But as the researchers watch, they see that Dan and Allison's heart and sweat rates stay low. That suggests the 4th horseman, emotional withdrawal.
So what do we do?
She looks as if she has checked out.
That's right. You're picking that up. She's sitting back. She's not even really paying full attention to him. She's not there emotionally.
If you take a look at what's going on underneath, they're really saying, I'm out of this marriage.
The researchers get more clues about this seemingly blissful marriage from the marriage questionnaire, on which Allison said she thinks about divorce often, sometimes wishes she'd never married. Dan, however, says he's perfectly happy.
It's like you are out to lunch in the marriage here. She has all these things she's unhappy about, and you say, marriage is bliss. Where are you?
I do a very good job of trying to cover my emotions.
A score of 4 on this divorce potential scale suggests that it's very likely that this couple will get divorced eventually, and she scores 8.
Gottman now does what he calls the intervention.
Can I help you? Because I really think...
He asks Allison to explain why she hates the idea of living in a trailer.
Basically, what I'm saying to her is, don't disengage. Tell him what this means to you. That's what the intervention is. What are the dreams behind the conflict?
This time, Allison gets to the essence of it.
I lived in the projects. I don't want to go back to that. I've been poor. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to have to go to the bathroom with shoes and a flashlight. I did that.
Now they're starting to talk about what they really feel. The passion comes back. And sometimes it's anger.
You're bringing up a lot of raw stuff. They could start screaming at each other. This is useful?
Yes. In the first discussion, when there wasn't that screaming raw stuff, what we saw was very big predictors of divorce.
A loud fight is better?
A loud fight where there's no contempt, yes.
Go ahead, tell me I'm a maniac. Go ahead. Say anything you want. But I don't care. I don't care. That's the way I feel.
The Cramdens, says Gottman, are an example of a healthy couple.
I love you.
Fighting and anger, he says, are not predictors of divorce.
Marriages end with a whimper. People grow apart. They're no longer friends. They get lonely. And eventually, there's no connection.
Gottman does a second intervention. He tells them what he saw and suggests counseling.
What I was worried about a little bit listening to you was that maybe it was too late. You know, that in a lot of ways, you've left. Parts of you have gone already. And you're going to have to work hard to really have the courage to come back and try.
I talked to them 2 weeks later. They say things are much better.
Did Gottman's intervention have something to do with changing the way you feel about the conflict?
We were forced to talk about stuff that we had been hiding or glossing over.
Going to stay married?
Oh, yeah.
And you like potato?
You like...
Gottman tries to get couples to understand that many marital problems cannot be fixed. You just need to learn to live with them.
I didn't get that.
Right.
Okay.
That's because you never listen.
It seems like the goal of couples is if they solve their problems, they'll be happy. The goal of therapy ought to be to get couples to come to terms with unresolvable issues, with perpetual problems they're going to have forever.
Everything has to be spotless.
I'm a spotter.
I've gotten used to it.
You say that.
And you say I learned.
The Gottmans tell couples it's okay that you can't agree. And couples often find that a relief.
After all, if you think about it, there's no human relationship that any of us have with siblings or with friends that is perfect. Instead, we accept our friends with their limitations, and that's what our couples are doing in marriages that are working very well.
You are indeed my very life, and I am blessed to be your loving wife.
We found that the real basis for romance and passion are in these very small moments.
Do you see any more of them?
When people either can turn toward one another or turn away from one another. They're reading the Sunday paper together.
Yeah, so we got that one finished.
And we find in marriages where romance continues, people are connecting in this everyday small way.
Just be nice to each other.
Right? People say, is this all there is to it? This is easy. I can do this. And we're looking for these secrets that really are very easy. It's just that people need to do them often, every day.
I think you do love me.
I think so too.